Hello! Welcome back to another episode where we are a few chapters away from the ending. I don't know how to do math at the current moment. 4, I think. 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 4 plus the epilogue. Alright, cool. Waltz of the Witches. Hopefully we will finally get to meet Agatha. Again, it's not going to be this simple because there are 4 chapters left. Something else is going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be... Like, I had a thought last time, forgot what that was, but I'm kind of wondering now if maybe she does go home, but because she has magic, she gets into trouble or someone targets her and then Aslan has to come save her. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh god, I'm already thirsty. I can't help but feel nervous as I walk the familiar stone path leading up to Agatha's cottage. Are you sure she's in? And that I'm not, like, totally intruding or anything? My questions answer themselves as dim lights shine from inside the cottage and a small trail of smoke wafts from the chimney that wasn't there before. However, it's not just the cottage that seems different either. Despite having stood in this exact spot not too long ago, it suddenly feels as if this entire part of the forest feels different. It suddenly feels... magical. Beside me, Aslan chuckles lightly and takes my hand into his, giving it a small squeeze. Are you feeling nervous, Luna? Not to worry. If her latest note was of any indication, she's expecting you as well.
Yep, Master Agatha loves to go at her own pace, but she's a really, really nice person. Hehe, and I'm not just saying that because she's my real master or anything.
I admit that I am quite fond of her mistressness as well, despite as... eccentric as she may be at times. Rest assured, you have nothing to worry about, Luna. I find myself smiling slightly at the reassurances from my friends. However, I still feel lingering anxiety palpable within me at the thought of finally facing the all-powerful sorceress we've been searching for so long to find. Thanks, everyone. Well then, I guess we should go inside, right? I really hope this comes up with the whole, "Hi, this is the old lady I saved. She's the one who gave you the magic book that you stole from me, Aslan." When we finally reach the door, Aslan turns to me and squeezes my hand again. I feel him slightly lean over next to me as he whispers in my ear, "Everything will be alright. I promise." I can do nothing more but nod as Aslan slowly raises a hand to knock on the door. Look at all the books. Look at all the books. There's so many books. Okay, stop being jealous. Okay. My breath is instantly taken away the moment we step inside the door. The first thing that catches my eye are the weathered bookshelves that line the walls, all overflowing with ancient-looking papers and texts. As my eyes scan the area, I spot numerous tomes floating around the room, opening and closing and flying to and from the shelves as if they each have a mind of their own. Whoa! This is just like... Like magic? The wizard beside me chuckles and I blush. Finally, my gaze lands on the center of the room where a large cauldron is sitting atop a stone pedestal. The liquid inside the pot shimmers as it bubbles and boils. The sound of light humming catches my attention, and I finally notice the figure of a stout woman flitting around the back of the room. Her back is turned to me as she opens a book in one hand and tosses some unknown ingredient behind her into the cauldron with the other. Before I can even open my mouth, the 2 penguins fly past me in the blink of an eye. Even Merla looks uncharacteristically ecstatic as they both float over to the witch.
Master Agatha!
My mistress of magic, your humble servant has returned. The woman turns around at the mention of her name. Her face wears an amused but knowing smile as she opens her arms and hugs the penguins close to her chest.
You're finally home! Oh, I missed you so much!
Mistress Agatha, I must say it feels like it's been forever since we've been graced with your esteemed presence. Oh, goodness. It's been far too long since I've seen you two. How have you been, my lovelies? Not causing too much trouble, I hope.
Tee, oh, you know, nothing more than usual.
Thankfully, I was there to keep Philia in check before she did anything too rash and got herself killed. On numerous occasions, I should mention.
Wow, Perlo, we're being snitches now?
As lively as ever, I see. How wonderfully wonderful. I'm so glad you two are doing as well as always. Ahem. The reunion gets interrupted when Aslan loudly clears his throat from where he stands beside me by the door. His arms are crossed as he glares, and I even swear I spy a pout beginning to form on his lips. Again, with the text and the not formatting and whatever. Oh my goodness, is that who I think it is? Agatha looks up and breaks into an eye-crinkling smile as she makes her way towards us. Grandmother, you... However, she shoves her grandson to the side without hesitation and reaches down to clasp my hands in hers. Why, hello, my dearest! Oh, I'm so very pleased to see you again, Luna. How have you been, dearie? Did my grandson accompany you all the way here? Has he been treating you well? Oh my goodness me. Forgive me for all the questions, dearie. It's been a millennia since he's brought a girl home. Oh, Aslan! Oh god, no. Why, I was beginning to worry I wouldn't see any great-grandchildren at this rate, you know? Great-grandchildren? Mother, you have some explaining to do! Oh, really? Whatever do you mean, dearest? Aslan voice uncharacteristically booms through the small cottage as a protuberant pout rests on his face. Shouldn't it? I think it should be Aslan's voice. Whatever. His glare towards his grandmother intensifies, but somehow in this situation, he ends up looking like a grumpy little kid more than anything else. Agatha brushes Aslan off with a slight smirk and wave of her hand before she walks back to tend to her cauldron. Is Aslan... are we gonna explain how people know each other? She takes him to look at her book and picks up a familiar-looking conch shell and tosses it in. Specifically Luna. Why doesn't Luna be like, wait, this is your grandmother? That's when I notice a few other ingredients sitting at the base of the pot. Eggs, milk, conches, and I think those are tea leaves? Wait a minute.
Oh, what you making there, Master? Smells good.
Philia floats up to look over Agatha's shoulder, and the witch pats her head with a smile. Why, the last portion of the magical spell required to send Luna home, of course. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay. I suddenly freeze at the sound of my name. Wait, what? Wait! So, then, all this time, you knew? Agatha chuckles and shakes her head as if the answer was rather obvious. Dearest, I sensed it the moment she set foot through the portal of yours. All of a sudden, an indescribable emotions... Grammar? Stirs within me. My heart sinks in my chest, yet it feels as if I had somehow known this truth all along. I manage to speak up, although my voice trembles slightly as I do. So, you mean, all this time you've been preparing for this meeting? Yes. Yes, I have. However, there's still a while left before this concoction is complete, so I insist you stay here for dinner, Luna. After all, I'm sure there's plenty you'd like to chat about. Oh, okay. At that, Agatha claps her hands together in delight. Wonderful. Now then, what shall I cook up tonight? All of you must be positively starving. I'll have to check what ingredients I have in the pantry. Why, I've been away from home for so long that I barely remember. Agatha heads towards the side door I can only assume is the kitchen. However, Aslan instantly swoops in to stop her. That won't be necessary, Grandmother. I'll cook. Oh? Don't worry, my darling. You've just arrived home from a long journey, haven't you? You must be tired, dear. Plus, you haven't let me step foot in the kitchen for the past century or so, if I recall correctly. Why, I begin to think you dislike my cooking or some such, Aslan. Not at all. Nothing of the sort. I love to cook for you. Don't you remember? Besides, you should catch up with Merlot and Phileas some more. I'm sure you have lots more to chat about. Oh? Well, I suppose if you insist. Aslan places his hands on his grandmother's shoulders and all but pushes her back towards her cauldron. The witch shrugs and heads back into the room. Once she's out of earshot, I see Aslan wipe a relieved bead of sweat from his brow. Phew. Disaster averted. Aslan, what was that about? I didn't know you liked cooking that much. Well, it's more like I have to do it. For survival. Despite the fact that my grandmother is an amazing sorceress with extraordinary magical prowess, her culinary skills are... how do I put this? Not really up to par. And by that, I mean that I'm sincerely not confident that a mere mortal will be able to survive it. Oh, I see. Damn, she sounds worse than me. So that's why ever since I was old enough to hold a frying pan, I've been in charge of our meals. I'm not the most skilled either, but not to worry, Luna. I do know my way around the kitchen. I'll show you that I can do more than just mix strings behind a counter. Aslan winks and I can't help but smile. Our days at the bar back home feel so far away now, as if they were all just a dream. Although the memory is a bit bittersweet, a warmth spreads through me as I realize how far we've both come since then. Alright, well, let me know if you need any help in the kitchen. I'll do anything I can. That would be wonderful, thank you. You can use my grandmother's apron. I'm sure she must have a spare around here somewhere. Just a moment. Should I check the cupboard in the hallway? No, wait. That's where she keeps all of her potions. Then maybe over in the... I giggle to myself as Aslan mutters to himself. There's something about his aura that feels much more open now that he's in a place that puts him at ease. Some tension leaves my shoulders too as I look up at his profile and a smile tugs at my lips. He's such a cutie. There's even more books! Or, oh no, it's the same fucking thing, but reversed and without the cauldron. Sometime later, and the flying books. After Aslan and I finish putting a modest meal together, the other three join us as we set the table. Or, rather, the table set itself. Before long, all of us are digging in our spots around the small candlelit dining table. Oh my, this soup is quite delicious. Isn't it? Hassan's the one who made it, so full credit goes to him. I'm glad you all like it, but I can't take all the credit. Luna was a great helping hand in the kitchen. You're exaggerating. All I did was peel the potatoes. And without the potatoes, this soup wouldn't be complete. Oh, please. I can't but giggle and Aslan smiles back.
Wow. So, like, when's the wedding you do?
I choke on my pretzel. Luna, here, drink some water. Aslan gently pats my back and hands me a cup as I cough into my napkin. Oh, Philia, don't be so silly, you. We're having a nice dinner, aren't we? Let's not tease the poor dears. And besides, both of us know that a snail crawls faster than my dear grandson takes his relationships.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Excuse me? Philia, I'll bet you 50 rupees it'll be another year before he makes a move.
Bet. I raise you 100 rupees for 2 years.
How rude to bet on Master Aslan's love life like this. And might I remind you both that Master Aslan and Iluna have already kissed? I choke on my water. Merlot! Oh? What was that, Merlot? Oops, my apologies, Master. Oh, now this is something I most certainly need to hear all the details about. Luna, do tell.
Yeah, girl, spill. Lily's been dying to know how you felt about it.
As I'm about to choke on my water again, Agatha's bright laughter echoes throughout the room. Oh, no need to look so panicked, my dearest. Forgive me, I was just poking a bit of fun at you two.
Damn, I wasn't, but okay.
In any case, I must admit you two do appear to get along quite well indeed. I'm very pleased to see my darling grandson having so much fun. He's rarely the type to get his head out of the tombs, you see. Quite the bookworm, this one. Oh, he's a nerd. I love him. Agatha beams a tender smile as she reaches a hand out and pinches Aslan's cheek. She isn't subtle in the way she raises an eyebrow as she smiles toward my direction with a wink. I drop my head as I feel my face flush red. I spy a pink tinge dusting Aslan's cheeks as well. From the corner of my eyes, he clears his throat, swatting his grandmother's hand away. I shall choose to ignore all your previous comments and take this one as a compliment. Why, of course, dear. Now, would you please pass the salad? Aslan pouts at our obvious attempt to deflect the conversation, but hands her the salad bowl nonetheless. By the way, Master Aslan, if I may interject, I had forgotten to mention it all this time with the bustling about, but I heard you recently received a letter from the Academy to join their faculty. Is that true, Master? Oh, you heard about that, Merlot? Yes, it's true. But it's not such a big deal or anything. Really, let's not make a commotion.
Yo, what? Aslan's joining the academy? Dude, what are you talking about? That's a super huge deal.
Oh, does that mean he's not gonna be a bartender anymore?
Only the top witches and wizards in all the realms are invited to teach there. Congrats, Aslan!
Oh, Master, I'm so proud of you. I always knew that your achievements in magical research would one day be recognized. Truly, this is a glorious moment. Oh.
Oh my god, sap alert. Is that really a tear in your eye, Marlo?
No, the soup got in my eye, that's all. Thank you all, really. However, frankly, I haven't decided whether to take the position or not yet. Well, what's there more to think about, my dear? You would make a marvelous professor of magic. And I'm not just saying this because you're my grandson, you know. Aslan scratches his cheek bashfully as the other three give him their words of encouragement. As I watch the tiny family's personal conversation from my spot at the table, a warmth begins to fill me. Yet, there's still a hollow feeling in my chest that immediately follows when I remember that those times are coming to a close soon. After all, they're talking about a future that I won't be a part of. I'm really going to miss this. But that's okay. I've come to terms with it because, at the very least, I'll always have all those precious memories to hang on to. Yeah, no matter what, I'll always remember these times for the rest of my life. Agatha must have noticed the way my expression wavers, because turns to me with an apologetic grammar. She turns to me with an apologetic smile. Oh, I'm sorry, Luna. It was terribly rude of us to just go off on a conversation like that with the guest present. Now, tell me, how have you been faring, my dearie? Oh, no, not at all. And, I've been doing well. I mean, at first I was really confused why all this was happening to me, and I won't deny that it's been genuinely scary at times too. But I think I've gotten used to traveling around now, and I've been having a lot of fun, if I'm honest. I can't but notice the way Aslan's smile grows wider as he stares at me, and the way Philia and Merla both seem to join him in puffing up their chests with pride. Even Agatha's face seems to break into a smile as she watches me with a tender gaze. However, I can't help but look down at my soup and feel my smile falter. I also know my journey is probably coming to an end soon, and That alone makes me pretty sad, if I'm honest. But at least I'll always have these precious memories with me. As long as I have that, I think I'll be okay. I muster the best smile I can and raise my head again. But all I see is Agatha's face falling from across the table. No, she's about to tell me the memories are going to be gone. For a second, it feels as if Aslan's expression also falters. There's a long beat of silence, when a voice finally clears itself before speaking out in a low tone. Yeah. Actually, my dear, I'm afraid you won't. Huh? I can only watch as silence fills the table as a slight tension begins to gather in the air. Agatha seems to sit up straight as she looks me in the eyes with a serious tone. Believe me, there's no easy way to say this, but you see, Luna, once you return to your realm, I'm afraid all of the memories you created outside of it will also cease to remain. What? Forgive me, I was under the assumption that you already knew this. I catch sight of Agatha turning her gaze to Aslan as I too turn my head to look at him, but find him looking away silently. But I see you haven't heard. Then allow me to be the one to explain, my dear. Traveling between realms bears a huge burden, and it is a power that only those with the ability to wield magic possess. It is an unspoken law that all realms follow in order to keep balance and peace. A non-magical being, initially, should never leave their home realm, and if ever one does, they cannot return to it so easily either. They simply know too much. Therefore, in order to return safely, they must have their memories erased to protect both themselves and the existence of other worlds. However, witches and wizards, being bestowed with magical powers, are an exception. That is because we all play an important role in protecting and bringing balance between all the worlds. That is part of the burden that we must bear for our knowledge and duty. Agatha finished her explanation, but my spinning mind can barely keep up. Traveling across worlds? Magic and non-magical beings? Memories erased. I clench my dress in my lap with cold, shaky fingers and look up again towards Aslan. However, he still refuses to look me in the eye. Don't tell me. You knew this entire time? It's hard to hide the betrayal I feel in my voice, and I see Aslan tense up before he lets out a defeated-sounding sigh. No, I didn't. Or rather, in honest truth, I wasn't absolutely certain of it. But I did have a feeling that something like this might be the case. Aslan, why? Why would you hide this from me? I was hesitant to say anything since I thought it would be less hard on you later on. Aslan finally looks at me and I can see his eyes are filled with a deep, melancholy emotion. But that does nothing to quell the tears building up and stinging in the back of my own eyes. How could you? That's not a decision you get to make for me. You're right. I understand that it was wrong of me now. I'm terribly sorry, Luna. I truly am. All I can do now is apologize. Aslan's eyes furrow deeper in regret as he sighs. He reaches over to take my hand, but I move away and quickly get out of my seat. No, Luna. I can't but swallow the forming lump in my throat as I peer around the room to watch the many faces that stare back at me sympathetically. I can't but slightly bow my head, desperately holding back the tears forming in my eyes. Sorry. I just need some air. Please excuse me. With that, I leave the table and head out the cottage door. Luna, wait! Aslan jumps to his feet and starts to chase after me, but he's stopped by Agatha's grip on his arm as he tries to pass. Grandmother, release me, I have to. And why must that be? Wouldn't it be better to leave Luna alone right now? Haven't you done enough damage with holding the truth from her this whole time? The less you're involved, the better? That's what you always say, isn't it? So tell me, Aslan, why? Why should I allow you to go now? Grandmother, I understand your perspective, but Luna's out there all alone right now. If she wanders too far, she could put herself in danger and... Then I will send Philia and Merlot out to protect her. Surely that would suffice, wouldn't it? Agatha's eyes seem to narrow at Aslan as he stares back down at her, his frustration seeming to grow. The two penguins, now looking more like worried deers caught in headlights, all but flinch when Agatha looks towards them and motions them with her head. Immediately, without a word, the two quickly transform into balls of light and flutter in the direction Luna had left moments ago. Once they are alone, Agatha releases Aslan's arm as the wizard lets out a deep sigh, running his hand through his hair. Grandmother, I can't just leave her alone like that. And why is that? She's just a human girl, after all. You've never been partial to involving yourself with humans, Aslan. So why the change in heart? If you felt your duty compelled you to see her safely return to her realm, you can leave it in my hands now. Unless there's another reason. Because I care for her! Clearly! I couldn't live with myself if something happened to her. So, how utterly ludicrous is it for you to expect me to just simply stay put now? You do realize that no matter how you feel, nothing will change the fate that lies ahead of her. She will not remember you, Aslan. It's best you sever those ties as quickly as you can, for both of you. I can't do that! I simply can't! And I won't! Although his voice boomed with uncharacteristic force around the small cottage only moments ago, Asa brings a hand to run through his hair. Suddenly his demeanor completely shifts as he lets out a small defeated sigh. Please, Grandmother, not yet. I can't. I know. Agatha simply smiles sadly as she stares at her grandson. She places a warm hand on his cheek and makes him look at her as she tenderly gazes out at him, yet her eyes seem to hold a nostalgic glint as well, as if she were staring at a younger version of herself. I know, my dearest. I know. I saw it in your eyes. However, if you go now, you must be absolutely certain this is the path you wish to take. Anything less than that wouldn't be fair to Luna, or to you. And it's a long path, my dear. And incredibly painful as well. One you will carry with you for the rest of your life, even if she does not. Even so, do you still wish to go to her now? I do. No matter where the path leads me, it's still the one I wish to take if it's at her side. So please, let me go. The sage witch simply smiles, hearing the answer she knew all along. Very well then. Agatha releases her hold, and there's no hesitation in Aslan's heart as he rushes out the door. As he leaves, only silence fills the small cottage as the sage witch turns around to stare at the bright moon peering in from her window. A small smile dances on her lips as suddenly, a small framed portrait floats up to her and drops itself down in her hands. From behind the frame, a picture of a smiling young boy beams up at her with emerald eyes. Oh, they really do grow up so awfully fast, don't they? Okay, I'm tearing up. Ah, crap. Alright, cool, Phil Strain, let's go. It's been some time since I left the cottage. I find myself sitting on a broken wooden stub as I stare absentmindedly at a small patch of glowing mushrooms next to me. I can't help but sigh. Truthfully, I had expected to be bawling my eyes out right now. That's why I came out here after all. That's what I thought was going to happen. But then I realized my tears wouldn't even fall anymore. It wasn't even sadness that I really felt after hearing Agatha's words. It was emptiness. Somehow, in that single moment, I felt the emptiest I've ever felt in my whole life. I'm shaken out of my thoughts when I hear a pair of soft footsteps approach where I'm sitting. I don't have to look up to know who they belong to. I feel him take a seat next to me, but I don't have the heart to raise my head to face him. Hi there. Would you, mind some company? I don't answer him. I merely shake my head softly. From the corner of my eyes, I spot two trails of pink and blue light slowly peek out from behind a tree trunk before disappearing into the distance. After some time, I ball my hands in my lap before I look up at the man next to me with a resolution in my eyes. I'm not going back. Pardon? You heard me. I said I'm not going back. I'm gonna stay here and be with you guys. I'm sure I can make myself useful to you all somehow. I'm a total menace at cleaning, I'll have you know. And I can learn to cook and maybe, organize stuff, like a non-magical assistant or something. It's silent for a moment before I watch Aslan shoot me a small smile. He wraps an arm around my shoulder and pulls me close to his side. The warmth of his body makes me relax ever so slightly, and I lay my head on his shoulder. Trust me, I know it's a lot to process right now, but you can't do that. And why not? What if I wanna? I grimace as I feel tears begin to instantly sting my eyes at his words. I hear Aslan take a deep breath before he rests his head on mine while intertwining our fingers. Because you have your whole life ahead of you, Luna. Believe it or not, I've actually lived a pretty long life already, so believe me when I tell you, your journey is only just beginning. You still have to find what it means to live, Luna. You have so many wonderful things you've yet to experience. And among them, you're going to find something that you and only you can do for yourself in this world. And trust me, once you've found it, you'll know. It's a theory of mine, but I believe all living beings are born with an innate purpose. Life is a miracle that isn't bestowed on us merely by chance, but by fate. And you will find your own path. I promise you that. But for now, I can't force you to stay here with me and abandon that bright future. Bitch, it's not forcing if we fucking choose to. Tears run down my cheeks as his voice both soothes me and brings me immeasurable pain. I don't bother to wipe my eyes anymore as I just cling to his arm tighter. My voice cracks as I try to speak. But won't you miss me? Or am I the only one who feels this way? Am I really the only one who can't imagine the future without each other in it anymore? Of course I will. You don't have any idea of how much this pains me as well. Believe me. In that moment, Aslan's voice sounds strained, but he quickly collects himself. He brings a hand to gently run his fingers through my hair. But, like I said, it would be irresponsible of me to keep you here for my own selfish whims. Rather, you're far too important for me to allow that. It's not selfish. I know you must feel afraid, Luna. I know. Aslan pulls me even closer and brings his hand to wipe away the stray tears running down my cheeks. I wrap my arms around his waist and finally look up into his ever-patient emerald eyes. But there's no need to be afraid, alright? Even if you forget me, I'll come find you again and I'll be there for you. Always. Crying. I promise. Aslan's eyes stare into mine with an intensity I've never seen before, and I understand the sincerity behind his words. To be honest, it hurts. I feel like my heart's being ripped out of my chest, but deep down, I know Aslan's right. Even if I stayed here, I'd be nothing but a burden to him. I know that more than anybody. I don't have a true place in his world. I was never supposed to have one in the first place. I am painfully aware of how true that is, right now more than ever. Everything we've done until now is for this moment, and we've already come this far. These could be the last moments we spend together, and in spending them crying and moping around and making it awkward for them all. But you know what? No. I'm not gonna go out like some pitiful crybaby. I've gotta get a grip on myself and see them off with a smile. After everything Aslan and everyone else has done for me, that's the very least I could do for them. I shift away to wipe the remaining wetness from my eyes and nod slightly. Alright, I understand. I get it, Aslan. Sorry for worrying you just now, and for running out like that. You're right. I'm sure I'll feel better once I'm finally home in my own bed. But for now, let's head back and finish dinner with everyone. Yeah? I think I owe your grandmother an apology, too. Man, I hope she doesn't think I don't have any manners just taking off like that. Aslan gazes at me silently for a moment before he softly smiles back. He ruffles my hair before standing up and offering me a hand. Thank you, Luna. I don't know if I deserve your trust after all that's happened, but thank you nonetheless. Now, let's head back. There's still dessert in the oven, remember? Oh yeah, I hope they saved us a slice of the pie. I was kind of looking forward to it. Well, knowing Philia, those chances are slim if we don't head back soon. True, let's go. As I walk ahead of Aslan, I feel my tears begin to well up again. But I muster all the strength of my heart to hold them back as I bite my lip. I fail to see the pained, forlorn look on Aslan's face as he watches me from behind. I'm fine. Just tearing up. The moment we walk through the cottage door, we're immediately hit with a gust of floral scent and a shower of flower petals falling down all around us. Whoa! What's all this? Everywhere I look, beautiful flowers appear to be blooming on nearly every surface in the room, completely changing its appearance from before. I even spot small vines and blossoms sprouting up from the nooks and crannies of the bookshelves lining the room as petals continue to dance around us. Oh no, it's a pink versus blue conversation. Alright, cool.
For the last time, pink is better.
Sparkles glow from the tip of the pink penguin's flipper, and suddenly all the flowers turn to pink. Excuse me, how rude. The color blue is refined and elegant. Not that you would know what either of those words mean. With a flick of his own flipper, all the flowers turn blue.
Ugh, blue is so depressing. But pink will totally cheer her up.
No, blue will.
Pink!
Blue. The flowers keep changing colors as the two penguins squabble. After a minute, Aslan heaves his huge sigh and steps forward. They're at this again? Really? Oh goodness, Aslan, surely you aren't so surprised. You know those two never change. Agatha shakes her head and walks over to where we're standing at the doorway. She shoots me a smile as she places a warm hand on my shoulder. I apologize for the commotion, my dear. We wanted to put a little show together to cheer you up a bit. And then these two got into a squabble over the color you'd preferred best. No worries. I think I'm kind of used to those two going each other's throats by now. The flowers were a lovely surprise, though. Thank you so much. Oh, a smile really does suit you the most, dearest. You truly have such a lovely one. Now then, let's finish up the rest of the night off with some tea and pumpkin pie, shall we? Oh, and if I do remember correctly... Suddenly, an old tome seems to magically push itself out of a bookshelf and land in Agatha's hand. The old woman smirks as Aslan suddenly frees up saying something familiar on it. I do believe I found some charming old photos of my dearest grandson while I was cleaning the cottage. Would you like to see them, Luna? That's not necessary! I'm sure she would absolutely not be interested in any regards to... Ooh, Aslan's baby photos? I'd love to see them, Agatha.
Oh my gosh, me too! I remember when Aslan was just a toddler. He was so cute.
I'd actually like to be quite interested in seeing those photographs as well. Philia, Marlo, you traitors! Oh, ho, ho, perfect. Everyone gather round, I'll have some good ones to share. Like, again, she could just be... Again, Luna has magic. She could be another apprentice to Agatha. You know? Like, bring back the fact that she has magic if you're gonna fucking... It's the perfect reason why she can stay, damn it. Either that or her magic's gonna be the one reason that, if she gets sent back, she's going to remember everything. Laughter mixed with agonized cries from Aslan fill the rest of the cottage. More whimsical stories and hearty laughter echo in the rest of the night until the moon is high in the sky. The next day, after breakfast, I head out for a bit to get some fresh air and to imprint the last glimpses I'll ever have of this world. I'm half surprised when I open the door to see the moon still shining outside, despite definitely having been greeted with good mornings not long ago. Philia and Merlot inform me that in this realm we're currently in is a magical one, where it looks like nightfall all the time, despite it technically being daylight outside. As I take in all the sights around me, I can't but smile thinking back to how just an amazing of an adventure this ended up being. I can't believe this is all really coming to an end. Last night, before we all headed off to bed, Agatha let us know that the last ingredient to the spell meant to finalize my sending was set to be completed today. Now more than ever, my heart aches and all I want to do is cry, but I steel my resolve to see everyone off with a smile. Once I'm home, life will go back to normal, huh? Well, first things first, I'll have to catch up on all the anime I've missed. I should send Enix a text too, see how things are with him and Isla. Oh, and I think I have an essay due. Wait, how much time has passed? Shit, I wonder if I missed my finals. Professor Atlas might have dropped me from the class knowing him. Oh, I should pass by Cafe Estrella. I really do miss Mr. Sol, and maybe Jamie will be there too. He seems nice. Maybe we could actually be friends. Oh, but I do hope I don't run into that giant gaudy guy again. Wonder if he forgot about his suit that I ruined. Life will go back to normal, huh? It's for the better, right? Plus, Aslan promised that he would find me again, and I know he won't go back on his word, so it'll be alright. That's all I can believe in now. A warm breeze blows past me as I hear the sound of footsteps behind me. I turn and swallow dryly when I see both Aslan and Agatha walking down the stone path towards me with serious faces. Are you ready, Luna? Yes, I'm ready. I see. Very good. However, it seems you won't be going home just yet. Wait, what? Grandmother? Even Aslan looks shocked when Agatha's face breaks out into a mischievous smile. You see, it turns I read the recipe wrong, therefore the final ingredient isn't done brewing just yet. Oh, me and my old age. So in the meantime, perhaps you two could help this poor old woman out with one last favor? Aslan and I stare at the witch incredulously as she swishes her fingers and a pure white envelope materializes into her hand. Suddenly, she holds it out to me. When I take it, I turn it around, I see a crescent moon stamp with a gold wax seal. Oh my goodness. This, my dear, is an invitation to the Starlight Ball. The Starlight Ball? What? What? What's that? You see, it's a fancy schmancy party that's held in a faraway realm once every 1,000 years. It's an invitation-only event for some of the most powerful and heroic beings around. It's quite the celebration with music and food and fancy dresses, all the sort. But, alas, this old woman's party days have long escaped her. I'm afraid I won't last long on the dance floor with this old back of mine. Still, it'd be terribly rude of me to turn down such an important invitation. So, might I ask you two to attend in my stead? Surely it's a night you two wouldn't want to miss. However, Aslan frowns at the request. Grandmother, while I appreciate the thought, having Luna stay longer than necessary would only... Ooh, I don't know which idea I like. Because I don't know if her interjection is, yeah, let's go, or if her interjection is going to be like, yeah, let's definitely not go. I will... Oh, shit. I need to plug in my laptop. Oopsies. I think I will interject
but if I don't like it, I will change my mind. I've only changed my mind on one option so far, so I'm doing pretty good.
I'd love to go. That is, if you're okay with it, Aslan. If you're not, though, I understand.
Oh, no, Wonderful, then it's settled. Now, my dearest grandson, off with you. I need to help this young lady prepare. Wait, I never said...
You heard her. Now get moving. I'll help you dig up a suit out of your closet. Thing's probably got dust bunnies living on it.
Phileas suddenly appears from behind Agatha and all but drags Aslan away by the collar as he mumbles a few feeble protests. Once they're out of earshot, I turn back to Agatha with a grateful smile. Thank you, Agatha.
Oh, no need to thank me, dearie.
No, I've been meaning to say this for a while, but thank you. For everything. Not only did you go out of your way to collect the items to help send me back, but you also welcomed me into your home, and now this. I smile from the bottom of my heart and step forward to bring the witch into a hug. I know I can never repay you for all you've done for me, so thank you. I'm so grateful that I met you. Luna. Agatha's eyes widen for a second before she softens and hugs me back. I know this may not be in the best taste to say right now, but out of everyone who could have wandered through my grandson's portal, I'm truly so very glad the fates decided it was meant to be you, my dear. Yeah, me too. You have no idea. Eventually, Agatha pulls back and smiles like her usual cheery self.
Alright, let's get you dolled up now, as promised. Ho ho, I must admit, I'm quite excited. I haven't dressed anyone up in a century, but that's about to change now, isn't it? After all, we can't have you going... After all, we can't have you going out looking anything less than magical for a ball of this lifetime. A lifetime. Learn to read. Okay, that's the end of the chapter. Once Upon a Dream. Alright, second Sleeping Beauty reference in one episode. Okay. Trying to think of where the story's gonna go, because we are on the third to last chapter. There has to be one major, there has to be, one more, plot point thing, right? Is something gonna happen at the ball? Is that what we're aiming for? Because, again, the whole Luna has magic. Are we not going to address that? Because that would be, the perfect excuse as to why she can stay. You know, be like, oh, Agatha can take on a new apprentice. Haha. Or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, it's going to be the end of this episode. Hope you had fun. Hope you have a good night, evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is for you. And I'll see you next time.